We continue now at the top of Daf Ayin Aleph Amud Aleph Meseches Zevachim. This is Zevachim Daf 71a. This is a short Amud that's a continuation of the Mishnah from the previous Amud. So we will start from the beginning of the Mishnah. Again, the Mishnah said, Kol hazvachim shenisarvu bechatos hamesos. All karbanos, all animals that get mixed up with chatos that are supposed to be left to die, o b'shor haniskol, or with a shore that is supposed to be stoned, an ox that is supposed to be stoned, afilu achas beribo yamusu kul, and even if it's 1 in 10,000, they all have to die. Rashi explains again, Kol hazvachim afilu achas beribo, hashta mashma achas keshera, beribo shel chatos hamesos. Initially, right now, the Mishnah is understood to be saying that you have one kosher, we're talking about one kosher animal for a karban, together with 10,000 chatos that are supposed to die. Hilkach parach begemara. Therefore, the Gemara is going to ask, Maya afilo, what does it mean to say even? Hahavu mesos ruba. In this case, the ones that are supposed to die are the majority. The katani shenisarvu bechatos hamesos, because again, it says that the good karbanos, they got mixed up with the chatos hamesos. And Rashi says, Chamesh chatos mesos ninu. There are 5 chatos that are supposed to die, and they are as follows: Vlad chatos, the offspring of a chatos, v'chatos shemesu ba'aleha, also a chatos which the owner died, with tmuras chatos, and a substitute of a chatos, v'shekipru ba'aleha v'sha'avda. Let's say the owner already got a kapara and the animal was lost, v'shenimtzas ba'alas mum, or if it was found to be a ba'alas mum, it had a blemish. And we will note over here that the Shinui Nuschos has an alternate text in Rashi, Vlad chatos or Tmuras chatos, the offspring of a chatos, the substitute of a chatos, the chatos shemesu ba'aleh, a chatos where the owner died, the shekibru ba'aleh bi'acher, the owner already got a kapara with another animal. And in the alternate girsa, v'she'ivra shenasa, if the animal passed the age of a year, that's instead of what we have in Rashi, which is v'shenimtzas ba'alas mum, which was again that it was found to have a blemish, and there are those who explain the girsa that we have in Rashi. In any case, the Mishnah continues and says, Nisarvu b'shor shenevda bo avera. Let's say these zvachim, let's say these animals that are meant to be karbanos, they get mixed up with an ox which an avera was done. And Rashi explains, Nisarvu zvachim kasherim. Let's say you have animals, kosher karbanos animals, that they get mixed up, b'shor shenevda bo avera, with an ox, where an avera was done with that ox. And Rashi says, echad bi'echad. Rashi says we're talking here where it's really just one with another, meaning to say you have one karban getting mixed up with this one animal that an avera was done. Umefarish v'yazal mahi, and now the Mishnah is going to go on to explain what exactly are examples of a shor shenevda bo avera. Kagon, for example, again, in a situation of nisarvu, b'shor shenevda bo avera, and the examples are as follows. One example could be, let's say it kills a person, al pi echad, and there's only one witness that saw that, or al pi abaylim, or the owner admits that that's what happened, or beroveya v'nirba, you can have an animal that was involved in bestiality. A roveya is a case where the animal is the male, a nirba is when the animal is the object of the bestiality, the female. But muksa, if it was designated for the worship of avodah zarah, v'nevad, if it was worshipped as avodah zarah. Biesnan, an animal that was used as payment for prostitution, umechir, or an animal that's exchanged with a dog. And Rashi continues and explains, again, the first example, shehemis as ha'adam al pi echad or al pi abaylim. Let's say the animal killed a person and there was one witness or the owner admitted. To shor shehemis al pi abaylim, because if you have an ox that killed and the owner admits that the ox killed, so iftar le miskila, there the ox is not stoned in that situation. To moed b'knas pater, because that's a situation where he's admitting it's considered a fine, and therefore is exempt from the actual punishment of being stoned, but again is a shore which an avera was done with. V'chein roveya v'nirba, also the cases of bestiality, al pi echad or al pi abaylim, that would be again with one witness or the owner admitted, dehashta lav shor haniskol, who that way it's not in the category of a shore that is meant to be stoned. V'leko lememar yamusu, and Rashi says you can't say over here that the animals that got mixed up they should die. Shaharei mutarin lehediot imlo mipnei hazevach hamurav behen, because in these cases, let's say you have again the shore shehemis as adam, that shore is permitted for people. The person's allowed to get benefit. It's not permitted to the mizbeach, but it is permitted to lehedio, to regular people. But the only issue is now it got mixed up with another animal that was designated as a karban, and so therefore you can't kill the animals over here. Another solution that you can't do is you can't now sell these two animals and then use that money to purchase the type of karban which this animal was that was a karban. Because again it got mixed up with this animal. Let's say they killed a person, that animal is not allowed, it's disqualified from being an offering. Like we say in Meseches, Tzmura minha behema lahotzias roveya v'hanirba. The words minha behema, that excludes roveya nirba. If the animal's involved in bestiality cannot be a korban. Min habakar lahotzias hanevad, the words min habakar, that excludes an animal that was worshipped. Min hatzon lahotzias hamuktzah, min hatzon excludes an animal that was designated for avodah zarah. Umin hatzon lahotzias hanogeach, and min hatzon excludes an animal that gores. And Rashi continues and explains muksa. What does it mean? Muksa sheiksayu letzorech tekroves avodas kochavim. That means it was designated for the purpose of worship of avodah zarah. Velo hikrivo, and then it wasn't actually offered. V'nevad, and what's nevad? She'aso avodas kochavim, that it actually was, the animal itself was avodah zarah. V'shtacha velo, and he bowed to the animal. Ve'amrinam bepera kol ha'asurin b'meseches tmura to mutarin lahedyot. Again, we say in Meseches tmura that these kinds of animals, the hedyot, the regular person, is able to benefit and is able to use these animals. They're just not good to go on the mizbeach, and we will continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Ayin Aleph Amid Beis.